Maybe you're new to the party and just discovered what Kahoot is. Or maybe you've known what it is for a while and you just covet that feeling of being on top of the leaderboard. There's no shame in it. I myself get my own boost of dopamine whenever I see my name in those top 5 slots. So in this video, I'm going to reveal a few tips and tricks that I came up with that'll help you increase the amount of dopamine you get by winning Kahoot games. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be able to better demonstrate your knowledge in whatever Kahoot you're competing in, especially if it's for one of those classes and you're trying to impress one of your teachers. Really quickly, this is not a video about how to cheat and win. If you want to cheat, there's a lot of videos out there that are already made. Just go watch one of those. You can leave this video right now. These are only small adjustments that you can make that can better your chances of winning more of the time, completely fair and square. So let's get into it. So really quickly, I know this is obvious, but I need to get it out of the way. You need to know the content of your Kahoot. This is so obvious that we won't dwell on it for too long, but it needs to be said. No amount of tips and tricks will help you win a Kahoot that you don't know the content for, unless you're cheating, which of course, we already talked about. If you want that, go watch another video. Remember, this is advice, not miracle work. Okay, the next thing you should know is that the length of your Kahoot will determine the approach that you should take in order to win. In essence, the shorter your Kahoot, the more likely that you'll need to be faster in order to win. Or in other words, short Kahoots are about speed, while longer Kahoots are about accuracy. Naturally, this also means that if you happen to mess up in a short Kahoot, your chances of winning or recovering from that mistake are a lot slimmer. So let's talk about speed. When it comes to winning Kahoot, forego using any mouse or touchpad for your answers. Instead, use a touchscreen. Whether that means your computer has a touchscreen, or an iPad, or a phone. Those precious milliseconds that it takes for you to move your cursor to the correct box to answer is a lot slower than it is if you were to just use your thumb. And that brings us to our next tip, which is to use your thumb to click the thumbs up button on the video. If you just click the thumbs up button, you will have a 10% more likely chance of winning the next Kahoot that you compete in. So go ahead, click like. Back to the video. When it comes to touchscreen, keep your thumb low and close to the center of the 4 boxes. If you don't want to use your thumb, index finger, whichever finger, doesn't matter. Once again, this is all about optimizing the amount of time it takes for your finger to reach the box on the screen. If you must use a mouse or touchpad, do the same thing with the cursor. Keep the cursor in the middle of all the 4 boxes, that way it takes the least amount of time to reach the answer that you need to get. Next up, if you haven't already, you need to get out of the habit of looking down at your screen to tap the box that you want to tap. This is a huge time killer if you have to constantly put your head down first before you can press the box. You know where the boxes are. There are 4 completely distinct corners. They're not going to move around. So instead, don't look down, keep your head up, and when you know the answer, tap the corner that you want. On that note, for shorter Kahoots, you should try to tap the correct answer as soon as you see it. I know it can be tempting to want to go through all of the answers first before selecting that one that you think is correct, but when it comes to short Kahoots, those precious milliseconds really do add up and they really do matter. So when it comes to shorter Kahoots, as soon as you see the correct answer and you're confident about it, click it. So next, do you ever notice how when a basketball player goes up to make a free throw, they usually have some sort of ritual or routine that they do beforehand? That's because a routine and consistency in general can help you focus your mind and can help you repeat great results. In the same way, when you're looking at the Kahoot multiple choice, have a clear and methodical approach for how you're going to view every single answer option. I don't care if that means left side first and then right side, or maybe up, then down, clockwise or counterclockwise. Whatever it is, just pick a method and stick to it. This will help you keep calm and focused rather than bouncing all over the place. This next tip, again, has to do with speed, but rather than having to do with hand-eye coordination, it's just about your device. First of all, use a device obviously with a good internet connection and optimize your speed by removing all unnecessary tabs or applications that are currently running on it. Nothing is more annoying than actually having selected the answer as fast as possible, but then having to wait because your application is taking too much time because there's too much junk happening in the background. Oh, and make sure to turn off notifications, because if a notification comes up out of nowhere, you can accidentally click it and that'll absolutely screw up your entire game. So turn those off. And the final tip is that you want your phone or your device to be on a steady surface. That means either providing support with your extra hand or laying it down on a desk, rather than holding it up in the air. When your device isn't steadily placed either on a supported hand or on a desk, what tends to happen is your hand tends to swing when you try to press the answer with your thumb. Those extra milliseconds that it takes for your thumb to reach the device because your arm is swinging away from the thumb actually count. By stabilizing your device, you avoid this backwards motion, which would normally move the phone away from your thumb. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope it proves to be helpful in the future. I know a lot of this stuff seems like it might be overboard, but trust me, those extra milliseconds can really make a big difference. But of course, remember, at the end of the day, you need to know the content first and foremost. Tip number 1, know the content of the Kahoot you're having. And it's a good thing that they don't use Kahoots to test people in schools, because that might go really terribly. But if you want to win, know your stuff, and then apply these tips. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope it proves to be helpful in the future. If you could please just leave a like on this video, it will help me out tremendously. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe. Even hit the notification bell to know exactly when another video comes out. That's all for now. Comment down below any other tips that I may have missed, and go ahead and watch one of my other videos. And in general, just have a great day.